Good evening, lady and gentlemen. Here we are on December 8th for our Blight Review Board meeting. This being the first meeting since the elections, it's appropriate that we revisit the officers of this board. And so I am calling the meeting together simply as the senior member of this group, having served for a couple of years now. And the first order of business, I think, should be to call for nominations for the chairman of this group. So let me do that first. Anybody want to make a proposal? Yes?
George.
I'll second that.
Yeah.
All in favor?
I don't want to call it an ambush, but okay, that was stealthy. Anyway, okay, I am certainly willing to serve and appreciate that, Michael. Any other nominations? All right, then we'll close the nominations. All those in favor, please raise your hands. Thank you. That would be unanimous, by golly. All right, the second order of business then is to elect a secretary, someone to take notes. Not an overbearing job. It's just we need the basics accounted for. So, anybody willing to offer to do that at this moment? No, Michael doesn't want to do it. Michael's now a selectman, and he's busy with things like that.
I would, but I'm getting very heavily involved in an Afghan resettlement program, and I just...
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Good for you.
So.
Nice.
All right. And I warned Peter Etter, who could not be here today. I warned him what happens when people miss meetings. But he did reply and said he really didn't think he ought to do it right now because would rather give it some more time before so he gets more familiar with how we do things here. So, well then, maybe we leave that vacant for now and ask Allie if we could.
I can do that.
Just take some basic notes.
Yep.
And we'll put together some minutes that way. Is that acceptable?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, so that will be vacant for the moment. Good, thank you. Let's see, just you and I were here for the last meeting on October 20.
Which we didn't have, right? Yeah.
Right, yeah, we
get a
didn't have the
quorum.
November meeting because of lack of quorum. And I don't think we can act on the minutes of the October meeting because there are just two of us, and I think we need at least 3 votes on that.
Well, just point of order, I believe the statute reads that if you're a member of the board and you've reviewed the minutes, you can vote the minutes even if you have not attended or you weren't a member at the time.
Oh, is that right? Okay. Oh, that's fine. All right. Well then, good, because I have reviewed them. I think they're in order. Michael, did you have any problem? Or you did?
No, I have I couldn't print it out because in my computer, for some reason, it came through as a document, but not a Word document. I just couldn't print it.
Really? Oh,
I
that'd
couldn't
be
pull it up
frustrating.
and print it.
Okay.
So I have it on here, and I looked at it, and I
You looked at it, and they're
removed that
okay?
we accept the minutes, yeah.
Good, thank you. Then I heard a motion to accept. Do I hear a second? Thank you, Michael. Those in favor, please raise your hand. That's unanimous. Thank you very much. All right. Next, we did ask a property owner to come to us today to discuss their situation, and we'd like to do that as it could result in a potential claim and fines. I'd like to do that in executive session in the first instance. So could I have a motion to go into executive session for that purpose? Thank you, Michael and Michael. Thank you for making that easy. In favor, will please. That's unanimous. Thank you. TV 79, we're going into executive session now. Please, thank you.
Close it.
Yeah, would you? I should just say, okay, we have voted to return from executive session, so we're now back in regular session. Thank you.
Okay. At the last meeting, a board member, Mike Castello, had mentioned he wanted to see, because he had heard rumor that the property was sold or was under contract.
Yep.
And so any notice of was delayed until at some point that was cleared up. And that is in the package, and we'll kind of go through that.
We'll get to that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right, so I guess it's time then to turn to you, Mr. Solito, and get that report from your
Okay.
various properties that you're watching.
Good, we'll go through the first one, case number 16-001. That's the one that we have, that they have made improvements on. I'm just kind of reporting because the property, the last inspection, the property has remained stable. Obviously, it is vacant, but it's holding its own. It is, continues to not be considered blighted, and it is working its way. It's working its way over to be on the watch list. Actually, I think it is on the watch. It is on watch status as of the October meeting.
Okay.
So that one is status until we get to a point where we can close it.
Good. Let me just interrupt for a second. For Mr. Burke's benefit, just so you understand our protocol here, we typically refer to the file numbers, and we have a list that shows addresses as well, and we don't typically name names in public here.
Yeah. It's also on the front page is the case number and then the address is right on top.
Yeah,
Yes, thank you.
just for future
We don't
reference.
make that information public right now.
Right,
Right.
okay. And incidentally, welcome Michael Burke, our newest selectman, who's now joined us here. We do welcome you.
Thank
And
you.
thank you for your willingness to serve here. And I should also report at this point that Mr. Casallo has had to resign on account of business conflicts. So we'll be waiting for an RTM representative to be appointed soon. Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Salito.
Sure, okay. Next case 17-011. That one remains, continues to remain blighted, no action. It is already under a citation.
Fees
It's
are
been
accruing.
determined to be blight, and there has been a citation issued. If you do, I was able to, a couple of pages back, there are recent pictures of the house, and I don't know exactly what he's doing, but he's got ladders and scaffolding set up along the front of the house.
And is that property occupied?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay, this is, what kind of thing is that ordered? Okay. All right, but we are accruing fines on this?
Yes, accruing fines.
Okay.
Yes, he is.
At $100 a day.
Mm-hmm.
And,
This house is occupied?
Yes.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
we haven't been able to get inside it, I think has been a
So
problem.
you,
He's-
yeah, you
you're
don't know
right.
what they're doing with the scaffolding and letters and.
Do not, no. I tried to look up to see if there was a building permit, but there's no building permit. To find out if there's any, whatever is
That
going
is-
on. Yeah,
We haven't been
maybe
able
that's,
to.
yeah, I don't know.
Get,
You're right.
Department of Health or anybody else inside to determine whether it's really habitable at this point.
Well, just looking at the photograph, it seems like the main point of egress and access is
Is now blocked.
blocked.
Yes.
So if there are codes and ordinances that
Mm.
ban people from living in domiciles that have this kind of condition, then perhaps other authorities should be alerted. Because to me, I look at this picture, and if there's somebody living in that home, whatever their owner status is, it seems to me that they ought not to be permitted to do that in a house, structure that's in that kind of condition.
Yeah.
That would, I'd have to talk to our fire marshal, but from experience, fire marshals don't have jurisdiction over single-family homes, 3 families and above, and businesses. However, the building department, and this is, we're in the middle of communication between us, finding out about whether a building permit there. They, although I believe by state statute, they have the power to intervene to some degree, although many building departments are not set up to, don't set up to handle complaints about this. But if I talk to Bob Bush, the fire marshal, about this, maybe there's something he will sign on to.
Yeah, it does look like a dangerous condition.
Yeah, exactly.
The scaffolding thing seems new.
Right, right. Yeah, I just saw it yesterday morning,
Yeah.
but,
Yeah, there's a long history with this case, as you all know, and Bob Bush and I have been out there numerous times at the very beginning, and is it the state attorney from that Bob?
yes, more
Yeah.
coin, yes.
That had been contacted to see if they had reason to, request to get into the house, and it was declined, so.
Great.
Yeah, without him giving permission,
Yeah.
there's not much we could do.
And there is a family member of the person who resides in there that we've been in touch
The
with?
person who
right?
resides there is the owner.
Is the owner, right?
Yep, and he's competent, and he's able to live the way he wants to live.
Mm. Okay.
So I'll bring that to Bob to see if there's anything else we can do.
Yeah, please do. And
Yeah.
the Department of Health, it seems
Yeah,
to me.
and, the key is other than what we suspect is possibly a hoarding issue inside, there needs to be a person in some regards will have to have seen it.
Uh,
And if they've seen it, then they can assist in filling out an affidavit for the court that would require entry by.
I see.
But unless anyone sees it and reports it,
Mm-hmm.
And the windows are all blocked, you can't see
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
windows.
can't
see
see
that.
it. So we're kind of stymied at that point.
Very frustrating.
This is accruing fines now?
Pardon me?
Is it accruing fines
Yeah.
now?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
We should remember our new 6-month rule.
Right.
Yes.
So this was from May, so it probably is timely now to update it and give him notice of the current balance of the lien.
Mm-hmm.
Whether we need to do that through council, I probably don't need to do that, but if we can simply let him know from the date that the citation started, it's been at $100 a day since then, nearly, it's over 6 months, I think now. He should be aware of the new balance.
Is that something you'd like me to contact them, or would you want to contact them?
No, I think if you could just do up a letter, if you want me to sign it, that's fine, either way.
Oh, I don't mind. To
Yeah.
council or to,
We would just mail it to him. I don't think we need to do
Yeah.
anything more formal than that.
Okay.
We don't need to have it served by a marshal. But I think it'd be a good reminder.
good. Okay, I'm sorry, yeah. So I keep that straight.
Good.
Good. Okay, moving on. Well, the next one is obviously one we've already just handled, that's 17-013.
Right?
This is Mr. Official. Okay, we'll move on to, I just wanted to point this one out, 17-019. This particular case, it's still visiting there yesterday, it's still in okay shape. It is at the point where it is just about 3 months that it's been in watch status. The only thing I would say is that because of the high amount of trees in the area, there's leaves all over the lake. Now, it's natural, it's
Yeah.
whatever.
Right.
So just ask for whether or not you prefer to keep it on watch status, or we can just go to close it, and if we have to act on it again.
Well, and the car is still there. The car is still there.
Yes,
The unregistered,
Yes, yeah.
unmovable
Mhm.
car.
yeah.
Are we hearing anything from neighbors about the?
No, I haven't heard anything ever since. No, since the last complaint back in August, I believe
This
the
is the
last
one
one
who put a
was.
dumpster in there.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And I thought it was an old lady that lived in there.
She's not a
no.
senior.
Oh, it's a
No,
man.
not.
No, it's a woman, but she's not a senior.
Senior, no.
Oh, she's not a senior?
Right.
No,
Okay.
no.
But she was pretty cantankerous at one point.
But then when she met with us and was working with
Yeah,
me
she
and
was-
she,
yeah.
it all
Once we put
ended.
the dumpster in, she started cleaning it
Yep.
up.
Yeah.
With stuff in the
She
Mhm.
yard.
lives with at least one son,
Two sons,
two sons.
Right.
adult sons.
Yeah.
So,
So-
how about a letter to her, letting her know, you know, we're still aware of the car. And-
Yeah.
And would urge her to
Got it.
finish the project.
And we'll keep it on the watch list then until
I think
further
so,
notice,
yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Good.
very good. Okay, next one, 18-002. This was the one that was sent to, the bank, a CEO of the
Okay.
bank of ownership,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
The.
Any response?
We had gotten an email, but you know what, that's true, hold on, let me see. We had gotten an email from,
Count would have.
yeah, received an email from, actually it was a letter, from the Property Preservation Service. And they were explaining why they could not comply with the order at this time, having to do with the fact that it's under foreclosure and the tenants there, even though they're not paying rent, they will not go in and do any kind of work while it's being occupied. We, actually continued to visit it. There was no work done. And at the October meeting, the board issued the notice of determination of blight to the owner's representative, and that was as of October. That was just sent out, that was just mailed out, that notice of determination
Mhm.
was just sent out 12/7, yesterday. Went out
Yeah.
via certified mail
Right,
to them.
okay.
So
You
that's
found
it.
my
But
letter. You found my letter in your.
yeah,
mail?
they had already been summoned to a hearing. They were supposed to be at the hearing on October 20th at that meeting.
So it's the
And
bank.
the bank, yeah, the bank person. And they didn't show, they sent that letter instead explaining why they're not gonna do anything. Yeah, exactly. Now, just to,
But if it's in foreclosure, it's not, if there are fines that are accruing, is not the bank,
it would be
paying
the
those
bank.
fines?
The bank is responsible for the property.
right,
So-
so why not press to collect fines? Because the bank is going to pay the fines, and then ultimately it becomes, however they resolve the bankruptcy, that just becomes more something related between the homeowner and the bank. But if it's in bankruptcy, then the bank ought to be doing things to preserve that property. They ought to be working with us to do the things that need to be cured, and then they figure that out, with their borrower on the other end, right?
Yes, that's it, but they own the bank now, so where we are now is, with regards to our process, we're in the middle of getting to that point where we can issue fines. I believe it's 30 days after they receive, actually 30 days from the date of the notice of determination.
Yes, right.
So technically,
If they
as
haven't
of,
cured the issues.
it went out, it dated this, actually it was dated the 2nd, so as of January 1st,
Yeah.
if there's nothing's been done, fines can start accruing as of January 1st, 30 days after the issuance of the notice of determination.
Notice of determination is October 20th.
No, that was that was the hearing date.
Yeah.
The violation notice was
Oh, okay.
dated, yeah, that's the,
That's
right.
it, okay. Wait, violation hearing notice, okay. But then
Correct.
Notices of determination of light violation.
Right, it was ordered on 10/20 by the board.
Oh, okay.
But the letter wasn't set up from the town attorney and mailed out until 12/7.
Yeah,
Okay.
And that's not on here, forgive me, that should be on here after the notice of determination, because it just went out yesterday.
well, it does say
Update.
12/7, notice of determination.
Correct.
Sent out certified.
Yeah. So, no matter when it's received, we'll have record of when it's received through the certified mail process.
And
But
you mentioned foreclosure, but you also say the bank owns the property.
the bank owns the
So the
property, yeah.
foreclosure is over with.
The people that it was foreclosed from are the people that are still,
So they're the
Squatters.
tenants.
still living,
Yeah.
the
Right,
squatters.
so
And they
then,
started the
Hold it over.
eviction.
in the typical course, then the bank will bring a eviction proceeding against the holdovers, and that's
Yeah,
that's wholly, separate, because they're gonna get those people out, and then they're going to sell the property.
Yes,
yeah.
So, and those landlord-tenant matters can take an extraordinary
Yes.
amount of time.
yes.
So we should avail ourselves of everything that we can do while they're in their
Mm.
process. There's no reason why we can't be collecting fines or
Yeah.
getting help from the bank to do what
Yes.
needs to be done
And
to that
encourage-
property.
Yeah,
And generally, what we need is exterior work. And I
Yes.
don't know why they don't do that.
yes. I did return the letter, because we did receive a letter from them stating why that they weren't gonna be doing anything on the property, and why they're not, shouldn't be held liable, but I emailed them back that the town doesn't recognize, unfortunately, their internal policies, but they are the owners, and they are responsible,
Yeah.
and
Right,
we're
We
going
need the
through with
exterior, at least.
what we're
Okay.
doing.
right.
There are a couple of pictures attached too,
Yeah, I
if
see.
you
Yeah.
want to take a look at those as well.
Good, okay, so,
Okay?
yeah,
All right, moving on. Case 18-004. I do not know what's going on there. The owner was illegally doing work on his house. So they actually raised the house, looks like about 3 feet. I know the building department was out there, put a stop work order on the house, but it's still the same. Everything is still there, all the issues, the storage containers, boats, tractors,
oh, yeah, yeah.
is still on the property.
He
So
was
that
gonna
one
what?
just
He was gonna raise?
What's
it?
on AHS?
Oh,
Oaks Kings,
that's the street that it's on.
That's the name of the street?
No,
no, no,
It's an acronym.
It's an
yeah.
acronym.
Oh,
So we don't
an
say
acronym.
here.
Oh, wonderful, I
Okay.
love an acronym.
Well,
Or
there's
initials,
actually
anyway.
two, there's one
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
other one too. I'll tell you after.
We'll tell you offline, but
after
you'll
the
know it
meeting,
immediately.
Yes, okay, I'm sorry.
The infamous
Just
one.
easier, I type so much, I just try to use it.
It's a lot to type out.
Love an acronym.
Yeah, so that one's still remaining the way it is. And I believe, wasn't there another lien supposed to come forward?
Yes, we were gonna update the lien.
Yeah, okay.
And have that served. I don't know whether that happened or not. but,
Mhm.
We should ask counsel about that.
Yeah. Okay, next case, 18-005. The owner was at our last meeting, again, promising that he was gonna have more work done. Nothing, there's been no improvement there since the last meeting at this point, but there's a lot of work that has to be done there.
So, is it time to send, so he was here for a hearing?
He was here, he came,
He
he wasn't,
came in
he just
voluntarily.
showed up, he didn't, he
Yeah.
wasn't summoned to one, but he did show up to talk about it. Just, so you know, there was a, notice of determination that was, sent out in January of this year. But because had been working on the property a little, there still has not been a citation issued, so, although fines technically could have been accruing from March 4th, of this year.
But the
Nothing's really
citation-
been,
Citation has now been issued.
it hasn't yet.
I think yeah, isn't it 21-001 are we talking about?
No,
No,
18.
Oh, I'm
18 dash,
sorry.
that's sorry, 18-005.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Is that the same, and look at West Avenue, is that the same one that we had, I raised the issue of the fire department not being able to get in?
Yes,
and that-
yeah.
Okay, now I know what you're
Right.
saying.
Yes, yeah, that's the one. Exactly. So that one is, like I said, not site. So there is a step you could take, but like I said, that's, he did show up so he is being, although not much work is getting done, he's talking at least,
All
so.
right, case downgraded to watch. And now we'll hear that it's winter time, and so what can you do during the winter time? But if anybody's in touch with them, just let them know we're gonna reinvigorate our interest come spring.
I can do
I
that.
think that,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
still, he still says he lives there, right?
No, well, he says he does.
Yeah,
Or
I
he
tried to press
spends-
him on that, and he eluded me.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know shorthand, so sorry.
Hmm?
There we go.
Uh,
Okay, we'll move on to case 21-001. That one is quickly coming, be ready for final accrual as of, this is 12/10, the 10th. Today's what, the 8th, right? So
Yeah.
Friday. There was a little hesitation with this only because, with this one, because this is another one where the thought that this possibly was going to be sold or under contract.
mm,
And I talked to the Realtor yesterday, and it is not whatsoever under contract, nothing at all here. She's hoping as a Realtor to try to get something done, and she's gonna try to reach out to the niece again with this, but, she made the comment, that the fact that I guess the owner of the property left them a lot of money, and they don't really care about the house. So,
all right,
Whatever.
then we should start
but
some
again,
funds.
yeah, that one was, the NOD was ordered on the 20th, it went out 11/10. It was served, it was received from the niece, by the niece on November 15th. And yes, 30 days after the date of the letter is 12/10/2021, when fines can commence. Was there yesterday. Yeah, there's pictures attached. No one's touched the house.
Right,
Then
okay,
it says case downgraded to watch status, and this case closed.
No, there's no dates there. That's
Okay.
That's just the step, yeah,
Yeah.
eventually, if it gets there.
Potential next
We'll
steps.
fill those in, correct, yeah.
okay.
And let me see those pictures there, and the last one here, there's a couple, but these have been, taken care of, satisfied. This first one, 21-003, a warning notice came out, and the owner quickly did some work and pulled it off of the blighted properties list. So there was no, never even had to talk about it here, I wanted
Okay.
to touch base.
Good,
And the same thing with the last one, 21-004. The yard is entirely cleaned up, it's perfectly fine.
good.
And that one, this one, the 21-004, the last one, I moved to close because everything's been done.
Okay,
The previous one, the 21-003, he did enough to get it off the blight list, although there are still blight issues there, not enough to put it on the blighted property list. So I dropped that down to watch status,
okay,
because there is still technically some issues, although they're not, again,
Egregious.
right, exactly. So we'll keep an eye on it, make sure that's,
okay,
and that is all.
okay.
All right.
All right, Any further comments, questions, concerns, issues? Then I think we're done for the day. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Mike,
All
this is
right.
probably the shortest meeting you'll ever attend.
Not bad, not bad.
Worry that we just begin our
Where's
throats
the light?
clear.
Oh,
How long
please.
those meetings go?
Michael moved to adjourn, Michael seconded, it was unanimous, and we're done, thank you, thank you.
Okay.